When I was in middle school, I had friends that would, call me names, they'd insult me all the time. And it was not something where, it was like guys insulting guys where we call each other names and, we're having fun with it. We know we still love each other and everything like that. It actually was like they were hurtful, they were terrible names. And, it really hurt my confidence, especially after COVID had happened. I was already, struggling with social like interactions, and it actually made me like want to keep my face covered up and my mask on, which is just a terrible thing. Like, imagine bullying someone to a point that they don't even want to show their face to you. That is the level that I was at because of the fact that I felt genuinely so ugly and horrible by them that I didn't want them to see my face, which is a terrible thing to think. And I know a lot of people are stuck like this, where they have, toxic friends, toxic, you know, relationships, and they don't know how to get out of them. They don't know if this is like a real, like, insults or just being funny. And it really hurts them because they get so confused. Like, their confidence gets hurt so badly, and things like really bad things happen when your mental health is like state like this, especially when it's induced by like almost yourself because you're staying around these people. So, you know, it is just a terrible thing. Like, imagine the fact that someone is bullying you so much you don't even want to show your face to your own friends. That's how I felt. So over the summer, I started getting so many compliments from my summer swim team friends. I talked about them in my last video about, how my muscles were so big. I looked so much better than I did, and, all about self-improvement. I felt awesome. I couldn't wait to see them again. I couldn't wait to get more compliments. I loved the fact that my friends were complimenting like this, and it made me realize that you need encouraging friends that are simply just nice to be around. Not these toxic friends that insult you and call you names. Well, yes, we do insult each other, we call each other names. We all know it's jokes. We all know that, we're not trying to be hurtful, we're not being hurtful, we're just having fun with each other. And that, it's just good times. It's not something where we're trying to, hurt each other in any way, because, there are some people that genuinely will want to see you fall, and those people, you need to stay away from them because they will do anything in their power to, instead of trying to, like, maybe you're up here and they want to be the same level as you, but they're down here. A good friend will push to get to your level, and they'll help you move up too, so you guys can improve together. A bad friend is going to be one of those guys that's going to try and drag you down to their level. And we do not want one of those people that's trying to drag you down. So if you find someone who's genuinely, like, you think they're being mean, toxic, hurtful, and genuinely meaning to do it, those are not your friends. Get them out of your life as quickly as possible, because having good friends will not only motivate you but it will help your confidence a lot, because as I was talking about, they will give you compliments. We'll still give each other crap. We'll still do insult each other sometimes, call each other names, but we know it's all for jokes, and we genuinely still think that we are good people. We give each other so much confidence through what we say, and when we genuinely mean things, they're not hurtful. They're always going to be things like, you've done well, and things like that, where we genuinely think that they are doing well. So it is great, but they can also, having really, really special friends, they almost become like second brothers. They give you a sense of like safety with them, a sense of connection and love, and they can help you through problems. They can give you unjudgmental advice if you need it, and they can they can be like that second set of eyes to see something in a different way if you're struggling with it, which is very, very important with us. I was talking about this in my growing up video too, but we're still kids. I'm 15 years old, and, you know, kid things make us happy. So having good friends, having friends that are willing to do kid things too, that don't think they're too good for them, that think that they're really fun too. Just why don't you go grab one of them and play football in the backyard? Because we're still kids. We're always going to have that kid in us. And by doing kid things, we're going to build relationships. We're going to be, you know, so happy with each other. And just from doing kid things, because kid things are the way that humans play, no matter if we're a kid, if we're an adult. And I don't know why it's become such a weird thing to, like go outside and play with your friends at an older age, because that is very healthy, very fun, very good to do. And the fact that people have started to like push away from that is just a weird thing. And I don't know why it's happening, but I don't know. But also, this my little conspiracy of the week. The more that I felt like we've pushed away from kid things, the more that I feel like our depression has gone up. Like, you never see like a fourth grader or a third grader with depression. Like, they always are doing, or you don't often see one of them because they do so many kid things. But as we get older, depression starts to rise, and maybe it's because we're not doing we're not playing like kids are supposed to play. Maybe I'm just a conspiracy theorist, but that's my conspiracy of the week for you guys. But I mean, your friends don't necessarily have to be your age. One of my best friends is my boss at my karate studio. I've known him for 12 years. I've started a karate when I was 3, and we've become like great friends. We have like such a special connection since I've known him for so long. And he's taught me karate and respect and discipline since I was 3. And I genuinely, like, I'm excited to see him whenever I go to work with him, because he's such a nice guy to be around. He will give me that confidence, that motivation I need. And it is just incredible to, be with him, because he's a nice guy to be around. And that's really what we want in friends. We don't need anything more than just, I like to be around. That's just what we need with friends. But in saying all of this, respect isn't necessarily given, it's earned. And you have to be able to gain respect from your friends. So, the first and most important way to gain respect from your friends is to not talk down to yourself. Don't speak badly about yourself to your friends, because one, I was talking about this in my other video, it gives off like a vibe to your friends that you don't respect yourself, and they will be more likely to not respect you as well if they can see the fact that you don't carry yourself with respect at all. So do not talk down to yourself, and don't, you know say things like that. Don't give off that vibe, because they will be more likely to be disrespectful to you if they realize that, oh, this guy doesn't respect himself. Why should I? That's how will they think. Two, don't take jokes that you find offensive or hurtful. Like, if someone calls you, I don't know, fat, and you are very sensitive about your weight, be graceful about it. Don't be like, oh, it's mean, it's offensive, don't call me fat. Don't do that. But, be very calm, be very collected, be like, hey, don't talk about that. And, make sure they know to stop, and that they know that you do not like what they're saying, and you don't think that it's okay for him to say that. But be very respectful about it. You don't have to point fingers, you don't have to start crying. Just be like, no, don't talk about that, all right? And if they continue to talk about it, they continue to say things like that, they might not be the best friend for you, because they're probably one of those toxic people. And I would push them away if they start to make friends with that. But you have to realize there will always be jokes with friends, sometimes at your expense, and you have to have that knowledge to know whether they are okay, and you realize, it's a joke, it's a joke. And it's okay, it doesn't hurt me too much. Or whether it's something like, oh, this is not okay, do not say that again. You have to know the difference between those two, okay? But also, you need to find nice, pleasant people. Don't go towards the vape kids at your school who are always rude to everybody because they think it's cool. Honestly, what I've found is a lot of the times the nerds at the school are very nice to be around. And even though they're not the coolest to be around, it's nice to have a nerd friend who you can, especially if you're smart, you can talk smart too, but also they can see you as somebody like good, you know? And it's really nice to have one of them or just the normal people, the kind of JV sports players. Those are nice people as well because they're not too cocky. They're always very like understanding and nice that they aren't the best, but they know that not everybody's going to be the best. So see how they work with them. And then there's also this thing called the waiter test that I was watching a video about where maybe go out to a restaurant with them or don't do that. But just see like how they talk to someone that you might perceive as below you, like a waiter or um, maybe a construction worker, somebody like that. And if they're very condescending and rude, then they're not going to be a good friend. They're obviously a rude person. But if they're nice, like if the waiter spills water on them, maybe you want the friend to be like, "Oh, it's okay, don't worry about it. I'll clean it up." Instead of the person like, "What have you done? Why are you doing this to me?" You want someone who's very nice, very respectful to anybody, no matter who they are, what they do. So, and also you have to understand that it's okay to let friends go if they're not good friends, If they're condescending and rude, you have to realize it's okay to say, "No, I just don't want to talk to you anymore." Something like that, where you just don't want to do it. But as good friends, we need to be good friends too. And by doing that, we cannot talk bad about our friends behind their backs. Girls will always be super nice up front. They'll be like, "Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful." And in the back, you're like, "Oh, she's kind of fat." Guys, with the complete opposite. We will say horrible things to each other. We will call each other fat, we'll call each other short, we'll call each other skinny, no muscle, everything like that up front. But behind our backs, we always talk like he's a really good guy. I know we give him a lot of crap, but he's a really good guy. And that's how guys should talk because that if we talk about people behind their backs, that's girl stuff to do. That if we have a problem with someone, we say it to their face. We don't talk behind their backs. And you know we have to know that they really do respect us because if we start talking behind backs, then we will start not respecting them and we give off that vibe that we don't respect you. And that is when things start to hurt, when you realize they don't actually respect you at all. They don't care about your feelings. They actually are trying to hurt you. And then that's when it gets crazy, it gets rude, it gets hurtful, when people are like, they genuinely don't respect you. But very important part is respect is earned, not given. You're not going to have friends unless you're at least a decent human being and you have the ability to gain respect and you have respectableness. But the only way to gain respectableness is to do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Bye bye. See you guys later.